Hi, everybody. It is Wednesday evening. It's region weather meteorologist Matt Wintz. We've got a packed show here tonight. I've got a couple weird things I want to show you. We're not going to go the traditional, here's the rain, here's your temperatures, because there's some really neat atmospheric things going on that I want to share with you, even despite the fact we're all sunburnt and probably have, heat exhaustion from the last 24 hours, 48 hours, as it's been warm around here. But we'll talk about those things, also get you set up for success for the weekend, because we have obviously things to plan. There's a lot of proms, a lot of people getting ready to do outdoor weddings and stuff like that this time of year. It is certainly spring across Northwest Indiana, and we'll talk about that. We'll get you set up for success for the weekend as well, all in this Wednesday evening edition of Region Weather Live. And welcome in, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. It is hot. It's not just hot, it's humid, as Jeff points out. Loves the heat, but not the humidity, he says. Jeff, I'm with you. If we could just jump into something that's like 80 degrees with no humidity whatsoever, at least to kind of ease into it, that'd be great. But boy, we jumped right into the heat of August around here, and it's just been super thick. And that thickness is going to go away tomorrow, as you'll see here in the forecast. Quickly want to thank our two sponsors, Tiger Plumbing. The leading cause of high water bills is a leaky flapper, which is in your toilet, right? It's that little thing that just leaks out a little bit and has your toilet flush every 5 minutes. If you have a high water bill and you don't know what it's coming from, call Tiger Plumbing. They'll come out for free. They'll check it out. They'll fix any plumbing problem whatsoever. It's not something you really plan on or count on, but Tiger Plumbing is the person and the place you need to go in Northwest Indiana. They've been serving Northwest Indiana for over 40 years. It's tigerplumbing.net. Also, this weather we have a Jeep here, and it's been great to use over the last couple days. Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They have all new Jeeps out there. Wouldn't that be nice to cruise with the top down? Support them if you can. Boy, if you're in line for a new car, a Jeep is the way to go, especially for summer and wintertime around here with four-wheel drive. So check out Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Valparaiso. I've got some cool things to show you. We're going to start with it right now, all right? Brenda loves this weather, beats snow and ice. I agree with that, Brenda. Love the heat and humidity. Maxwell's a big fan of that. And look at this. Cassandra taking time out of the nice evening to join us. I appreciate that. And it's your birthday. So coming to you on my birthday for the weather. Happy birthday to you, Cassandra. That's awesome. First of all, I just appreciate all of you because it's nice outside. We've all got better things to do, right? So I'm going to make this quicker than usual for you to get you on the way. So it's going to be packed with information. Go back and watch it if you don't understand anything, or if I don't get to the point on something. But let's get to the point, shall we? So here's what we're dealing with. There's been clusters of showers and storms off towards our north. I posted earlier tonight, Minnesota's been getting rocked by storms the last couple nights. They've had tornado warnings. These are ridge riders, which we get a lot of time in the spring and summer. You get a dome of heat. You get these thunderstorm complexes, these big clusters of storms that ride that ridge. And wherever that ridge goes is where the storms go. They're super difficult to forecast, not just the initiation, where they blow up, but where they end up going. And the models are terrible at it. So you've noticed the last two nights, your phone app, even the weather service, all local meteorologists have been saying, hey, we might get some rain in Northwest Indiana, or there's a slight chance of severe weather. No one's committed to it because the models were showing it the last couple nights that one of these complexes would come through, and it never did. It never materialized. We've got more of the same tonight, where the models, as you see here in a second, are showing storms coming through tonight, and there's nothing doing. It's all off towards the north. I'll explain why in a second. But let's go through time. You can see the big complex of storms up towards Minnesota. That's where it is right now. But you notice what it's got here. It's got storms here across areas of Illinois, Chicago, and kind of moving into Northwest Indiana with some showers tonight. I think what that model's picking up on is the lake breeze that went through earlier. It did trigger some storms across central Illinois. They've since kind of fizzled. But really, the models are notoriously not good with this kind of pattern. So keep that in mind. That big complex of storms up towards Minnesota, you see it going up towards Canada. You think we'd be done with it. But watch what happens tonight and tomorrow morning. it starts to curve in our direction. So tomorrow, midday, we may be dealing with some kind of leftover thunderstorm complex pushing out of Wisconsin. Watch how it fades, though, as it moves. Doesn't even nick Chicago with a drop of rain. Again, that's what the model's saying. Models have a poor handle on this. So is there a chance of rain tomorrow locally? I don't think so. I think it's going to stay off towards the north, but we may be dealing with some kind of cluster off towards the north. That could spread some debris clouds in here, or just, a little bit more high cloudiness than usual. Then we get more storms to fire up along the front. This happens Thursday night, Friday. No concerns for us locally, but as this moves in Friday into Saturday, that will trigger additional storms. You can see it doesn't look too organized. Again, models don't have a good handle on this. There is no computer model that nails this weather pattern where you have these ridge riders. It should get better in terms of forecasting for this cold front that comes in Friday, Saturday, because that'll be a cold front. But in terms of the storms, we do have a severe risk with this. It does look like the bulk of the action will be moving through Saturday. So if you have weekend plans, again, Saturday looks like the stormier of days. Doesn't look like a washout, but we are going to be dealing with some scattered showers and storms around here. All right. Remember, I showed you those storms are curving. Check this out. This is why, all right? This is the jet stream. This is the 500 millibar height and wind direction. And notice what we've got. We've got this giant ridge that goes up and then it curves back down. And right underneath that is that heat ridge. That's why we've been so warm. We've literally been some of the warmest places in the country. From here, St. Louis today had heat indices around 105. We had some heat indexes today, or indices, up in the hundreds across the region. You felt it. I mean, it was thick. It's humid. It's thick. We're right underneath that dome. All the air across the country is going up with the storms, and it comes back down on the other side. It's amazing. And that is the path that these storms are taking. So we'll see them develop in areas of Minnesota, and then they kind of get caught up on this. They come across areas of Lake Huron, and then that energy comes back down to the south, but it heads in the drier air. So that is the reason why we're seeing some of that curvature with some of these storms. The other neat thing, and you probably noticed it tonight, was that we had kind of a hazy sunset. It was kind of milky. The sun was kind of reddish, a little bit more reddish than usual. That's because we're dealing with wildfire smoke. Remember that jet stream comes out of the southwest, goes up towards the north, and curls back around. We're dealing with wildfire smoke in the atmosphere, not here at the surface, but up in the atmosphere. It's lofted, coming out of the fires from New Mexico, because it gets picked up. You can see it here on the map. It gets picked up in New Mexico. That jet stream carries it up into Minnesota, and it kind of curls it back around. So we're dealing with that kind of hazy, milky sky. It makes for some redder sunsets. So watch as we go through time. We'll clear that out. You can see a lot of it lifts off towards the north with that low pressure causing the storms up in Minnesota. It'll still be around tomorrow, so we may have kind of a filmy look to the sky, a little bit whiter, not that crystal clear blue that we typically get. But then you can see this cold front that comes in this weekend will eventually take that wildfire smoke, which again is lofted in the atmosphere, but it will finally clear it out. We'll kind of reset around here, and we'll have crystal clear blue skies next week. Problem is we've got a couple storm systems coming in that may produce some rain. All right, so let's talk rain. That's really the last thing I want to talk about. You know what? I lied, because I wanted to talk about dew points too, because this is interesting. We're thick and humid now, right? It's very tropical outside. Tomorrow we get relief. We talked about this in our last Region Weather Live on Sunday, how it looked like some relief midweek. You saw the muggy meter we posted earlier this week as well, how we get a little break. Watch this. This is the thick humidity around right now. Watch this drier air come in from the east. And this happens tonight. There's this breath of fresh air that breathes in here from the east, and that humidity just off towards the west. So it's still going to be humid in Chicago. It's going to be just downright tropical again in Rockford. But you get into northwest Indiana, we should have a nice southeast wind that brings in some of that dry air off the Appalachian Mountains and out of New England. So our dew points tomorrow, which measures how thick it feels, how humid it feels, they'll be on the way down. So tomorrow is looking much more comfortable by the hour. It's still going to be hot tomorrow. We're still thinking upper 80s to near 90, but the humidity is going to be totally different. It's going to be much drier tomorrow, especially later in the day as we get that breath of fresh air in from the east. But watch how it all kind of comes back. So we stay pretty comfortable on Thursday. Friday, we stay pretty comfortable as well. But then here it comes back on Friday night and Saturday. That's when we bring in the next chance of rain with that humidity. And then next week, looking pretty comfortable, all things considered. You can see all the humidity heading on out. We bring in much drier air from the north, and it's going to feel like bone dry in terms of humidity values next week. but that comes at a cost because it is going to get cooler next week as well, but not anything crazy cold. All right, last thing I want to show you, let's talk rainfall and plan out that weekend in terms of where the rain's going to be, when it clears out, and what we're looking ahead to next week. So we've got all the rain up in the plains today. Minnesota getting hit hard again, and we'll have to keep an eye on that cluster of storms. There it is there. You can see how it kind of fades out. We may have some remnants in Wisconsin and Michigan tomorrow morning. I think we stay dry tomorrow. Friday, it looks like we start to increase our clouds, and here comes our cold front. So we've got a low from the east, cold front from the west. Everything's kind of squeeze playing it. That'll ring out some storms around here on Saturday, but Friday will increase the clouds. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm sneaking in here from the west, but looks kind of unlikely at this point. Here's your Saturday. Front isn't too organized, but it's moving through. There'll be enough moisture with it. We'll ring out some showers and thunderstorms around here on Saturday. Could some of those be on the stronger side? Sure. I mean, we're set up atmospherically with some humidity. We've got enough heat, so we could certainly do that. And then as that moves by, another system comes in from the west. So Sunday looks okay at this point. May have a shower, but I think Sunday's okay. So between Saturday and Sunday, Sunday looks better. But then next week gets kind of showery. We get this little system in here on Sunday night, Monday that could bring some showers in here. We kind of dry out temporarily. And then there's this other system that's going to develop right here next Wednesday, Thursday, likely on the northern periphery of some more heat that's going to come in here later next week. So this could have a severe chance with it on Wednesday. If that holds true, that's along a warm front. And then eventually we get into the warm air and we have another powerful front sometime next Friday or Saturday, as it looks right now, with some heat in between. That could bring some more strong to severe storms to the area as we get into next week. But we'll focus on this weekend first. All right, so that's what we're dealing with weather-wise. So to recap, wildfire smoke tonight might have a little bit left over tomorrow, giving it kind of a hazy look to the atmosphere. Dew points are going to come down tomorrow, so it's going to get notably more comfortable as we go throughout the day tomorrow. Hallelujah, but it's still going to be hot. We're still talking 80s. And then as we get into the weekend, we're going to hold our 80s. They'll turn to 70s on Sunday. And then next week, it looks like a lot of 60s and 70s in the forecast. So I don't think a whole lot of people complain about that. It's not quite the summer-like warmth, but at least it's a little bit more comfortable, and it'll be a lot more comfortable actually compared to today. Okay, so that's what we've got. If you have any weather questions, go ahead and ask them now. We'll answer that, and then we'll get you back outside. I hope you guys are enjoying the evening on the patio or whatever you have planned. We're here, guys, and I got a couple of messages this week between our last Region Weather Live about, is it okay to plant? Is it okay to get stuff in the soil? Get it down. We're fine. Could we have a frost from here on out rest of the month? It doesn't look likely, but if we do, that's easy. You just cover it up with a sheet. You'll be okay. It really does look like we're in the clear now, which after Mother's Day is usually the thing. Memorial Day, you're definitely safe, okay? All right. Bonnie, you're welcome. You're welcome for sure. She says, thanks for the fabulous day, for sure. I appreciate you enjoying it. I mean, finally bring you some good news, right? Jenny likes the term ridge riders. That's what they're called. It's crazy. There's a lot of things for that. Mike's worried about chemtrails. That's great. Jeff, you're welcome. Could smoke block some of the sun's UV rays? Maxwell, that's a great question, buddy. It can. Yeah, the smoke can block, anytime you're going to filter out that direct sunlight coming in, you'll lower the UV index by, 1 or 2 points. We've still got a really high UV index this time of year. Something I teach not just kids, but adults as well. A lot of people think the temperature, if it's a really warm day, then you can get sunburnt. It has nothing to do with temperature. It has to do with the sun's angle. So right now, you think about it, June is the strongest the sun gets. June 21st, first day of summer, that's when the sun's angle is most directly above us, right? June 21st is the day that you can get burnt the quickest. If all days are sunny, that's the day you can get burnt the quickest. We're pretty close to that now. So May is very comparable to a July sun in terms of sun angle. You can get burnt really fast this time of year. And some of you probably experienced that the last couple of days. But just keep in mind, now is the most important time to slap on the sunscreen. Whereas if you have a warm day in February, chances that you're going to get burnt aren't too high because that sun angle is still pretty low. It's all about where that sun is in terms of time of the year. And June 21st is that peak where you get burnt the most. In the shortest amount of time, and then it kind of lessens up from there. But sunscreen certainly a good thing to do there. Matt asked a good question. Can you explain difference between few points and humidity? Oh, dew points and humidity. Matt, yeah. So that's a very common question, and I love it. So dew points, to me, the only number you need to look at is dew point. If you're wondering if it's going to be humid tomorrow, if you're going to sweat when you go outside, if it's going to feel thick, look at the dew point number. You want to look at a dew point forecast. Humidity is often at its highest percentage in the morning, right? Humidity tells you how full your cup is. So it says, hey, the atmosphere can hold this much moisture, and it has 80% of what it can hold. But you're not learning how much it can hold. I mean, that changes in the wintertime. In the wintertime, you can have humidity that's high, right? If you have fog, it's high. So dew point's the most important thing, because if a dew point, that tells you how much moisture is actually in the atmosphere, right? In layman's terms. So if a dew point's around 50 degrees or lower, we consider it comfortable. If a dew point's between 50 and 60 degrees, it starts to get uncomfortable. Anything above 60 degrees is humid. Anything above 70 degrees is tropical. That's the way I like to view it. Our dew point the last day and a half has been in the tropical category. We've had dew points in the 70s. So it's been very thick outside. You feel it, right? Tomorrow, the dew point's going to come all the way down into the 50s. So it's going to get very comfortable. While it'll still be hot, it's not going to feel quite as hot because your skin's going to allow evaporation, right? That's what happens when it's really humid outside. Your body can't cool itself because your sweat goes to evaporate, and it doesn't because there's too much moisture around anyway. It's humid, right? Tomorrow, if you go to sweat to cool yourself off, it's going to evaporate. Evaporation is a cooling process, so that cools your skin. So you're going to feel a lot more comfortable tomorrow due to the lower dew point. So I hope that helps for sure. But definitely go with that. Definitely go with dew point, dew point, dew point. Don't pay any attention to the humidity percentage. That makes no sense. A lot of people use that. A lot of meteorologists use that. That makes no sense to the end user. It really doesn't, unless you're a scientist, which, I don't even use it either. Chris, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Matt, I got you, buddy, for sure. Yeah, Jenny's talking about the blood moon eclipse this weekend. It doesn't look bad. If we get this front out of here, there's going to be mixed skies around for it. That's the problem. And I'm worried it's not going to be a completely clear sky. I will have an official forecast on that coming up here the next couple of days, and we'll be tracking that. But it doesn't look like a clear shot because we're going to have a lot of clouds around. There's another system coming in. We're saying goodbye to a system, so I can't guarantee it right now. So I don't want to ruin it. Thank you, Maxwell. Good. Matt, you're welcome as well. I hope that helps for you for sure. All right. I don't see anything else coming in. I do want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. We'll get you on your way here. So in recap, again, tomorrow it gets more comfortable. We're still hot the next 2 days. We bring in thunderstorm chances on Friday night, a little bit. Saturday, bigger chance. Sunday, hopefully we'll clear the system out, maybe a leftover shower, but Sunday looks okay at this point. It turns much cooler next week. And we're going to have several systems zipping through with some showers, maybe some thunderstorms next week, maybe a couple severe weather chances next week as well. They don't look high end, but stuff we need to watch for sure. Okay. All right. So that's what we're dealing with. Again, Mark just joining us. Thanks, Mark. A little late to the party here, buddy. That's okay. What you can do, Mark, and anyone else that just joined us, what you can do is you can always go back. This video gets posted on our Facebook page. You can go back and DVR it. You can go to the important parts. So we covered some cool things in this. All right. Susan, thank you very much. You have a nice night too. Matt, have a great night as well. Guys, thanks for joining us. We'll do this again on Sunday night, as always. And until then, we'll keep you updated on not just the eclipse, but all things weather related here across Northwest Indiana the next couple of days. Okay. Please enjoy the weather while you can. All right. Bye.